address. It's a really great honor to introduce to you Ms. Alice Nderitu, who is the head of the United Nations Office of Prevention of Genocide and Responsibility to Protect. And she's the special advisor to the Secretary General of the United Nations on genocide, has a long and distinguished history of work, from academic publications to in the field conflict resolution, working to bring about peaceful societies. She founded and served on numerous networks, commissions, and communities in Africa, as well as playing a critical role, and the only female role, in bringing peace between 10 ethnic communities in Kenya. And that was after mediating several peace processes in other African nations. It was such a joy and honor to work with Mr. Adama Dieng in this office. And it's now such an incredible honor and joy and blessing to work with Ms. Alice Nderitu and also her incredibly dedicated team, Simona, Denise, Maria, and their whole team. So Alice, with great respect and love, I turn this over to you to officially begin our webinar.
Thank you very much. What an honor, what an honor. Honorable Sathvi, thank you very much for inviting us to be in this space, and also for working so hard to make sure that this has happened. And I would like to begin by saying, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and observing all protocols, that I'm pleased to be here with you today. And I thank again dear Sathvi for everything that she's done. Your book is right behind me. I read it, a chapter by chapter, and quote it a lot. You will see in my speeches that I quote you a lot now. So thank you very much. And when I was asked to deliver this keynote speech on this very important event, I really appreciated that we are speaking to religious leaders in fostering inclusive and peaceful societies in India. I have just come from another conversation just a few minutes ago with another group of religious leaders, this time from Ethiopia. And we were talking about what is it that we need to do to ensure that we have peace in the country, and also speaking about the huge responsibility that religious leaders have in that country. And they say to me, find us other religious leaders in the world. We want to connect with other religious leaders and speak about what we can do for them to give us new ideas of ways we can approach this. So I'm glad to be coming from a meeting with religious leaders to another meeting with religious leaders. And I do begin by expressing my appreciation to the organizers, the Global Interfaith WASH Alliance, and the Religions for Peace, for co-organizing this dialogue, which really is a first with religious leaders on fostering inclusive and peaceful societies in India. And I must say that I'm deeply indebted to Swami Chidanand Saraswati and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar for being with us today to share their knowledge and admirable work in bringing peace worldwide. And I must say also that I welcome all of you who've joined this meeting today from so many parts of the world and who dropped whatever you are doing to be here today. I also would like to thank and begin by also thanking all the people from our office who've engaged so much to get this meeting to happen. Denise, Simona, Cruciani, Maria Westergran, and thank you so much. Always, you work so hard behind the scenes to make these kind of forums possible. Always you provide the energy to ensure that these forums are not only forums that we speak about, but also things that we move towards implementing. So this world we know is rich in terms of ethnic and religious diversity, as India is too. And we have many examples in history of peaceful coexistence and promotion of the principles of respect, equality, and non-discrimination, as well as the impressive work of faith-based organizations in terms of nurturing these traditions. You may be familiar with my mandate, the work of my office, especially in the development and implementation of the plan of action and the role of religious leaders and actors in preventing incitement to violence that could lead to atrocity crimes, which we also call the first plan of action, because it was the thinking into it first came within the city of Fez in Morocco. So I am the special advisor to the Secretary General on the Prevention on Genocide. And I'm tasked to provide early warnings and to make recommendations on potential situations where atrocity crimes, by which I mean genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity, may become a concern. And we work very hard to prevent, to hold them, and to protect those at risk. And I would say that so much of our work is uncelebrated because it is often the case that we cannot prove what we prevented. So we know that from history, that the kind of crimes that I have called atrocity crimes, genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, they don't happen overnight. They are planned. They are not spontaneous. They are not random. They are the result of a process and can be detected through early warning signs, which therefore means that there are many opportunities to prevent these crimes before they are perpetrated, and that we do need to take prompt action when we see risk factors and early warning signs of these crimes. So that, for example, when we see widespread discrimination, hate speech, and incitement to violence against individuals or groups based on their identity, or where we notice deepening social exclusion, divisions, and tensions in society, we act on that. And my office has also developed a framework of analysis that helps us to identify these early warning signs and risk factors of atrocity crimes, and which then facilitate early action and their response. So disturbingly, in the world, we have witnessed, and I'm sure you've seen too, this huge increase in many of these risk factors across the world. We have seen extreme forms of ethnically and religiously motivated hatred, discrimination, and attacks. And I know too that India, like other countries in the world, has also experienced trends of hate rhetoric against faith communities, especially in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, which really has served to magnify the visibility of such trends. Very, very sad. And we must respond, all of us, to these warning signs through prompt and sustained engagement, which includes implementing measures to prevent intergroup tensions from escalating, to addressing hate speech, and to preventing incitement to discrimination, hostility, and violence. So religious leaders and actors, by virtue of their roles, come across as natural protagonists of messages of tolerance, respect, non-discrimination, and building the foundations for peace at the individual and community levels. So the realization of the critical roles of religious leaders and actors in mitigating risk factors of atrocity crimes have informed this decision that was made to develop the plan of action for religious leaders and actors to prevent incitement to violence that could lead to atrocity crimes. So the plan of action was developed under the leadership of my office and was launched by the UN Secretary General in July 2017. I will ask Simona or Denise to post it so that all of us have access to it. And this plan of action for religious leaders and actors includes inputs from faith-based actors from all over the world on strategies and approaches to prevent incitement to violence that could lead to atrocity crimes. And my office, in collaboration with various stakeholders, is implementing the plan of action across regions, including in Asia. So as an example, my office organized a consultation with religious leaders in South and Southeast Asia to generate good practices and recommendations related to the implementation of the FAIR's plan of action in the region. I would say that this plan of action, one of the things it does is it provides a very easy way of engaging from religious perspective on hate speech. Hate speech is a very difficult subject. It's a difficult conversation to have. But this plan of action, because it was developed with the consultation of faith leaders from all over the world, then becomes a very easy way of beginning that very difficult conversation on hate speech. So I do trust that the constructive discussion and sharing of experiences today will contribute towards building peaceful and inclusive societies, preventing atrocity crimes and their incitement, and protecting populations in India. My office stands ready to continue partnering with you towards achieving this goal. once again, I say thank you very much, much appreciation for having this opportunity to engage with you and to learn from your wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Alice Dineritu and Naderatu. I'm so sorry, Naderatu. It's always such a great honor and great privilege to hear your words of inspiration and to be able to work together under your leadership and your vision. It's a wonderful blessing to request His Holiness Pujaswami Chidanand Saraswati Ji, who is one of India's most renowned and revered faith leaders across the nation and across the world. He's the president of Parmarth Niketan, one of the largest spiritual institutions in all of India, and the founder and co-chair of the Global Interfaith WASH Alliance, and the founder, chair, and leader and inspiration of so many other charitable and humanitarian programs for children, for women, for girls, for the environment, for disaster victims. We always say his mantra is yes. Whatever it is that's ailing humanity, his response to that is, yes, we will serve. So it's a wonderful honor and blessing to request Puja Swamiji to share with us his vision and his blessings on this crucial and beautiful webinar.
Oh.